Now on CoastTV News.
OC Tourism Report.
It's kind of split up. I haven't seen a huge fluctuation in that at all.
A drop in Ocean City hotel and rental stays this spring. Lewis Land Plan.
It's a unique property.
The area that could soon become public space. Droney to Superior Court, a major development in the high-profile case, what today's courtroom decision means.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Hate crime case moving forward against two former Millville firefighters. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with an update on a high-profile criminal case. New today, Jay Droney, one of the two men charged with a hate crime, was waived up to Superior Court. CoastTV News reporter Zakiya Jennings is in the newsroom. Zakiya, you were in the courtroom when that happened.
Charlie, this morning, Droney had his preliminary hearing in the Court of Common Pleas. Droney was waived up to Superior Court, so both his case and Jordan Hastings' case will be handled there. CoastTV did speak with a representative with the Delaware court system who says there are two very likely options moving forward. Droney and Hastings could have a preliminary hearing in Superior Court, or it could go to indictment. According to the courts, 99% of the time, a case will go to indictment. This gives prosecutors the chance to present evidence to a grand jury, and the grand jury decides whether the case should be indicted. If the grand jury decides to move forward with the indictment, that will then become public. CoastTV will continue to follow the story. Back to you.
According to police, this incident happened on Valentine's Day in 2024. Police say in 2024, the men chased a paid employee with a rope tied into a noose. According to the fire company, there was continued verbal harassment and racist remarks. Jay Droney and Jordan Hastings are two former volunteer firefighters at the Millville Volunteer Fire Company, both men charged with felony hate crime and conspiracy. They're also facing a harassment charge. Let's go ahead and take a live look into Rehoboth Beach, and the weather's starting to change a little bit here as we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Paul?
Well, right now we have continued to track one particular storm that's been prompting severe thunderstorm warnings across the Delmarva Peninsula as it's traveled through. Now it's near Laurel. So here's a look at what's happening. We have two Laurel cameras I want to show you so you can see what's shooting right here, some of the raindrops, and this actually has a history of producing quarter-size hail. A different point of view in Laurel right here is showing that we're seeing the shelf cloud that's associated with this strong storm that's pushing through. Technically and officially, it's not a severe thunderstorm warning or severe thunderstorm per se, but it's been showing characteristics. You can see that our markers highlighting that we have a hail maker or former. It's between Laurel and Delmar right now, particularly along Highway 13. We also have associated with the amount of rain that we received over the last few days, a coastal flood advisory. Now here's a look at that cell, and now we're going to be track what's happening with that cell as it pushes through. It's moving to the east at approximately 25 to 30 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour winds. Quarter-size hail in the past, and that's what's happening right now near Laurel. Expected to move through Gumboro, then Selbyville, Ocean Pines, and then Ocean View. And we have the timelines right here. Now, this is kind of ebbing and flowing as it pushes through, so we'll continue to track this throughout the newscast. And, of course, we're going to talk more about some possible changes as we go into the weekend forecast. But for right now, this is our primary concern along Highway 13 as it tracks to the east at approximately 30 miles per hour with 60 mile per hour winds. We'll keep you updated throughout the newscast, Charlie.
Paul, where are all the people? A new tourism report in Ocean City shows that the number of visitors to hotels and short-term rentals dropped significantly compared to this time last year for the month of March. But, and this is important, after CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zapay talked to some hotels around the area, they expect to see those numbers jump back up over the next few months.
The month of May has already seen waves of people enjoying Ocean City, but in the month of March,
Hotels and short-term rentals saw a downward trend in occupancy, something Ocean City Tourism and Business Development Director Tom Perlazzo says could be due to the harsh weather.
Some months they fluctuate up or down depending on obviously Mother Nature.
The Ocean City Tourism Report for March shows a 10% decrease in hotel occupancy compared to last year, and a 5% decrease for short-term rentals. Keith Wisnat is the general manager at the Residence Inn in Ocean City and said he's not worried about the numbers in March due to all the bookings he's been seeing for this summer season.
Our financials are done. April's much better. Yeah, so April, May's tremendous. June, for us, June's way up. July's up. August is up.
For March, 34.4% of the occupancy was at hotels, while 38% were in short-term rentals. Now, we talked to one realtor who runs a rental business here in Ocean City. We told CoastTV he's seen an increase in families moving towards short-term rentals rather than staying in hotels, and thinks that may be the reason why the town wants to implement a 5-night minimum length stay in residential areas and mobile homes, but that's now up for a referendum. But Perlazzo doesn't see it that way.
It's kind of split up. I haven't seen a huge fluctuation in that at all.
Wisnat saw a huge uptick in bookings during Boardwalk Rock and says he'll be seeing a lot more green in the coming months.
Now, although hotels were on a downward trend for the months of February and March compared to last year, they expect to see, as you saw in that report, those occupancy numbers bump up for the coming months. Excuse me, folks. This brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, do you prefer staying in short-term rentals or hotels when vacationing? Let's take a look at the updated results from the last news hour. So far, this is what we've got. 66% saying hotel. That's ticked down just a little from earlier this evening. 34% saying short-term rental. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttv.com or use the CoastTV mobile app. We will show you updated results on CoastTV News at 11. It's been a major project of intrigue in Rehoboth Beach, the new patrol station that's been in the works since December 2023. But today, finally, the grand opening. The building is fully ADA accessible and has 96 lockers for staff. City Manager Taylor Tedder tells CoastTV that lifeguards and staff need and deserve this new building.
The former Beach Patrol facility that was taken down, it had one toilet in it. This really not only serves the public, but the Beach Patrol 78 seasonal staff that we have.
The Beach Patrol station was estimated to cost $4.9 million when construction began. When the project ended, though, the price tag had ballooned to $5.7 million. It was around a $750,000 over-budget project. In Sussex County, everybody has an opinion on how they want their land used. In Lewis, that's no different. A new subdivision was put on the table today in a city workshop. As CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, the plans include homes and a park.
You're looking at about 3.5 acres of land in Lewis, located off of Gills Neck Road. It's being called the Kennedy property, and Dan Ebert has lived right near the land for years.
It's a unique property for, it's the middle of, housing development, then the highway on the other side.
Not only that, but it's right on the Lewis-Georgetown Trail, and property owners say that's why they want to donate part of the land back to the city for a park or a rest area. On the other 2 acres of the land, property owners want to build about 7 single-family homes facing the canal. Joyce Ayers walks the trail daily and says she treasures the city's open space.
I mean, if they're going to do anything, then a little place to sit would be nice. But I would rather see it just left open where we can enjoy the canal and not have any buildings blocking our way.
While today was just a workshop, so no official decisions were made, the city did seem very on board with this plan. They say given that the environmental studies come back clean, and they say this is a generous donation. Reporting in Lewis, Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
A new bill aimed at supporting Delaware's 70,000 veterans passed the House unanimously earlier this week. House Bill 1, sponsored by Representative Carson, would create a cabinet-level Department of Veteran Affairs led by a secretary. Supporters say it would streamline access to health care, housing, and benefits. The bill heads to a Senate committee in June with a possible floor vote on June 12th. We are just getting started. The good, the bad, the future. What we learned from the first ever Fire Chiefs of Delmarva Forum in Ocean City.
And we've been tracking several blustery downpours in our area. I'll give you the latest path that I've been tracking coming up.
But first, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, whatever the weather. We're going to take you to Bethany Beach in our Coastal Connections next.
If I asked you right now, I bet there are a couple of songs or phrases that you know every single word to without even having to think about it. The ABCs, Happy Birthday, and probably the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, did you know there is a group that meets every week at the Bethany Beach Boardwalk to recite that pledge? And in this week's Coastal Connections, we show you their inspiration and what else you need to know.
Every Wednesday at 8:30, you will see this crew at the Bethany Beach flagpole reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
We're Americans and we're proud of being American. It's a good way to start the day.
The group has been gathering for 4 years, whatever the weather.
We've never canceled, have never. No, we've been here in the snow, the wind, you name it, any type, ice, yeah.
Bitter cold.
Yeah. There might only be a handful of people here, but we're here, and we still do it no matter what the weather is.
God bless
Anyone is invited to join in.
Some of our members go out on the boardwalk and we ask people who are here for this vacation to come join us.
And the inspiration to stand up and salute, both patriotic and personal.
So I come out here every week, I look at that flag and think of my father who fought in World War II when he was 18 years old. And I look up there and I see his face every week. And that's how I visit. That's how I visit my father.
Through the pledge and song, a sense of unity in a world where that sometimes seems impossible to find.
We are Americans. We're from different backgrounds, from different parts of the country. We're here in this glorious area at the beach. And it's just time for us to stand up and say, hey, we will not be forgotten.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
For Coastal Connections, I'm Madeline Overturf.
A brand new opportunity for firefighters on Delmarva to air out the good and the bad. This morning, the inaugural Fire Chiefs of Delmarva Forum took place in Ocean City. Department leaders from across the peninsula spoke, and looking at the pros, they referenced the quality of the men and women that work for them and the successful funding requests. As for the cons, they cited recruitment still being a persistent challenge, and the Wallops Fire Chief wants to see greater focus on mental health.
Firefighter mental health and well-being. That is the biggest one that everybody's talking about. We have some great programs out there, but they're not enough. They're only as good as people actually being willing to use the services.
Today's event, organized by the Salisbury Chamber of Commerce, will become an annual event, and there are plans to bring in more fire chiefs in the coming years. Here's an update on a growth story. The Belmead Farm, which developers want to turn into a business and apartment complex on Route 24 next to Beacon Middle School in Lewis, it's taking another step forward. Wednesday night, Sussex County Planning and Zoning recommended approval to the county to change the zoning to allow for that type of development. However, in their recommendations, Planning and Zoning listed over 20 stipulations that developers would have to follow. Some of those include keeping 12 acres of the land as open space. Officials also suggested developers donate money to the Rehoboth Beach Fire Department. One concern from locals: if approved, how does the development hurt traffic on Route 24?
I came here because I felt that it was less congested than New York. You know, coming out of Queens, New York and going into Long Island, that's really a headache of traffic. So it looks like they're heading that way too.
According to plans, if the project ultimately is approved, construction is expected to be completed in 2023.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
A rainy day has wiped away most of the playoff action today on Delmarva, but there are still a couple of squads in action today trying to keep their seasons alive. In softball, the Henlopen North champion Cape Henlopen Vikings are back in action today. As the 3 seed in the DIAA tournament, they'll take on number 19 seed Indian River. And we're about a third of the way through the new season of our docu-series Into the Trenches, following the 2024 season of the Cape Henlopen Vikings. We saw an improbable comeback, increasing the Vikings' winning streak to 3, but will Cape get off to its best start in a decade? Let's take a sneak peek at tonight's episode.
On the next Into the Trenches.
I was on the offensive side of the ball for a long time. Being able to lean on Coach Frederick, I've learned so much from him.
I see a much different focus coming into this game.
Go big or go home. That means don't be afraid to fail.
I'm always going to be honest with you. I'm going to speak directly from the heart.
Hey, look at me, look at me. Hey, this is a pride moment, right? Take a deep breath, pride.
Into the Trenches, a new voyage on the Delmarva Sports Network and DSN Plus, sponsored by Preston Automotive.
Make sure to tune into the final score tonight at 10:30 p.m. for highlights of playoff action. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Each Friday, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. It's full of features, cool things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up for free right now. It's our Good Friday newsletter at coasttv.com/signup.
We have ominous cloud cover that we have that's overtaking the Laurel area, and we have one of the cells that we've been tracking throughout the afternoon and evening, and that's actually what's been prompting the recent severe thunderstorm warnings and marine warnings. We're going to track that here in just a second, but we can see the cloud cover stacking up a bit for us. We have some low-level moisture that's pushing through Laurel. Another view of Laurel also. They've just been hit by this rain, and it's moving quickly along right now. It started over here towards the Mount Holly-Linkwood area and has been tracking very steadily across the Delmarva Peninsula very quickly over towards Delmar and then moving in this same track direction. Now we see that cell breaking up as it's beginning to make its presence felt in the most southern portions of 113 and the most southern belly, so to speak, of Sussex County at this present time. More active scattered showers and thunderstorms to our north. Now, because we've had a steady onslaught of rain throughout the last, yesterday, including today, we have been alerted by the National Weather Service that we have a coastal flood advisory that's active for all of Sussex, Ocean View, Fenwick Island, but also those communities that are along wide bodies of water, Blackwater as well as Long Neck and over towards Millsboro as well. Then we have the small craft advisory that's active for us at this present time, watching out for about 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is going to be a concern for us in Ocean City down towards Chincoteague till about 1 o'clock Friday afternoon as well. And then we have additional coastal flood statements that have been issued throughout Dorchester and Wicomico and all those areas because we've just had that much steady rain, so to speak. And then we have the small craft advisory that's still active for the folks in Cambridge as well as the Taylor's Island area. We have a stationary boundary that's over our neck of the woods, so we have a mixture of that warm and cool air that's keeping things just a little bit on edge, but we're walking that line very steadily at this point. Temperatures in the 50s for the temperatures right now with the winds coming off of the water. Onshore flow is staying dominant, mostly cloudy for tonight and 56 degrees. Our storyline Friday, we're going to be cool, but over the holiday weekend, it's going to shape up nicely. Winds out of the northwest and 70 for the high tomorrow in Georgetown. We'll warm to 69 in Cambridge, and we'll get up to 70 degrees in Berlin, Snow Hill, and Pocomoke City with winds out of the northwest at 5 to 15. Along the coast, everybody's going to be near the 70-degree mark, if not slightly below it or above it. Temperatures primarily pushing out of the west. And so Friday we start off a bit cloudy, but we'll warm back up into the 70s, lower 70s actually for the northern portions of our viewing area. The most southern portions, we start off in the 50s. We'll briefly touch the 40s going into Saturday morning, but then we'll rebound back into the 60s once again with our chances of rain dwindling dramatically over the next few days. Going into the Memorial Day weekend, we're looking for much drier weather that's going to kick in for us, and we're looking forward to chill out. So with our Memorial Day weekend, we're looking for Saturday, 70 degrees, Sunday, 72, Monday, 74. And here's a look at your extended forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News at 6. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The NBC Nightly News is next, and we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.